Just gone 2 o'clock this early afternoon here in this country, and we're coming to you live. It's Jim and Simon live from Qatar. You're listening to the World Cup warm-up show on TalkSport in partnership with EE. EE full fibre broadband gives you the speeds you pay for, even at peak times. Right now, the Swiss up against Cameroon. The second half has just kicked off in that one. Commentary from Adam Bridge and Courtney Sweetman Kirk. That one live on TalkSport 2. Later on this afternoon, all of these live on TalkSport. We've got Uruguay against South Korea, Portugal against Ghana. Ronaldo, we shall see him in action, no doubt, for the first time. And then later on this evening, Brazil. You heard Kaká speaking to us exclusively on TalkSport earlier. Brazil up against Serbia. That one live as well on TalkSport. That's all coming your way right now. Simon and I in Doha, streaming live on YouTube and Facebook here in Qatar. If you want to watch the show, you can head over to the official TalkSport channel on those platforms. Mr. Jordan looking extremely fit and well after another bout of paddle tennis this morning.
I do my best, yes.
You do your best, and your best is good enough for us. Will Ronaldo's best be good enough for Portugal in this World Cup? One would have to think, according to the fans, yes. Yes, they're all in agreement that Ronaldo is the man. Even after that interview with Piers Morgan, Ronaldo fans, Portugal fans, siding with the man that they regard as the best player in the world. Judging by what I was told by a couple of these fans yesterday in the mall right beside our hotel.
We in Portugal think Ronaldo deserves respect, and Ten Hag didn't have respect for Ronaldo. Ronaldo, simple, it's the best in the world. He deserves respect. Ronaldo, it's have much humility. If he do the interview, I think he talks for the fans of Manchester to know what happens in Manchester. Ten Hag, it's not the best coach in the world. Ronaldo, it's the best player in the world for me.
Is he still going to have a big World Cup in spite of this controversy?
I think the answer, Ronaldo will do it to the Ten Hag in that Mundial.
On the pitch for the World Cup, you agree?
Yeah, I agree. And what I say is, we are only watching the Ronaldo situation, and we are not watching Manchester United situation. I believe that the interview wasn't the best for him, but if we look at Manchester United, it's like a cemetery of coach, a cemetery of players, a cemetery of everything. And we are only watching Ronaldo thing. The media only looks for Ronaldo to sell. But look for Manchester United. Manchester United does not have success since 10 years.
Since Sir Alex Ferguson.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
So Ronaldo will prove in this World Cup that the problem is not Ronaldo.
Simon, you stood right beside me when we spoke to these Portugal fans yesterday.
Yeah.
And they were very much back in their man. They're on Ronaldo's side. One of them said there, and you heard them, Manchester United is a cemetery for everything right now.
I mean, I think the second person was a little bit more objective. I think there's a sentiment and there's fact. I mean, the interview that was given was all about Ronaldo and his unhappiness, and as I said, with the obvious exceptions of the tragedies in his family, I thought it was just a litany of whines. But I can fully understand why the Portuguese would want to support someone as iconic in their part of the world. If he was playing for a Portuguese side and behaved that way and had been so, outspoken about what he was and wasn't entitled, they might have a different view. It's easy to have that shot at a team like Manchester United and take the view. But I think that what you'll have in this tournament is a highly motivated Ronaldo. If anyone thinks that there's going to be any blowback or adverse effect on his performances, I think they're away with themselves. I think you'll see a highly motivated and I suspect impacted Ronaldo. But you did see Ronaldo in the last tournament where he wasn't as as forceful or as impactful playing for Portugal in the Euros last time round, because we are seeing a fading superstar, whether you like it or you don't.
Yes.
He is he cannot do the same things that he could do 10 years ago. No one can.
We'll see if he can do it tonight against Ghana. That's a match we're going to go along to. But you think, a stunning World Cup for Ronaldo might well see a U-turn then in terms of the thinking of some Premier League clubs. They might think, do you know what, we'll have him. Look at what he can still do.
Well, look, I mean, if we want to talk about ego, Ronaldo's ego will only allow him to play at certain football clubs.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that's at the top of the tree. Who of those needs Ronaldo at this moment in time? Do Man City need him? No. Would Liverpool take him? Highly doubtful. Would Chelsea? They've already said they're not. I've spoken about and you've spoken about the Newcastle link because we think that makes sense as a pathway. You know, Piers Winfrey was talking the other day about Saudi Arabian clubs being prepared.
Come on,
are prepared to pay £350 million in wages.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see him in the Premier League, but I also don't think it will stop other people wanting to sign him in other football clubs because ego is part of the top players. Egos that are out of control. Egos that are not constructive, then they're the problem egos, but you need an ego to be an elite footballer. It just needs to be in check a little.
What about the country that's neighbour to this one, not far from where you and I are sitting now, Saudi Arabia? Ronaldo this morning reportedly expected to receive a huge offer to play in Saudi Arabia's Pro League and then be used as the face of a bid to host the World Cup in 2030.
Okay. Well, why would he want to do that? I mean,
Messi did it. Regards Qatar.
Is he?
You and I saw Messi.
I'm assuming he'll be in the camp of all the other footballers that object to the conditions in this country. So why would he want to be facing and fronting up a campaign for a country that has similar outlooks and similar issues in its society?
Money talks, Simon.
I know it does, and that's why when we get past all the nonsense of what's going on over here and get to the football, we'll all be better for it. But we talked about it last week, and Piers Morgan, I shall refer to him as Piers Morgan if you reply. I think it's Piers Winfrey, but Piers Morgan, for the purpose of this conversation, has suggested that he knows factually, without ever having seen a contract, there's a £350 million offer for Ronaldo to play. Now, that will be the end of Ronaldo as a footballer. It'll simply be Ronaldo as a concept in the minds of, inferior leagues. So that's great if Ronaldo needs to go and play for 350 million quid. And I have to say, most people that criticise that would be the first ones off the bus to do it.
There were nice fans last night in that mall, the Portugal fans. Absolutely. When they walked away, you probably heard them watch him against Ghana. Well, we will tonight. Obviously, we'll be there. And who's to say he doesn't turn it on?
I have little doubt that Ronaldo will have an impact in this tournament. And I do not think that what's happened at Man United will knock him out of his stride one jot.
OK, Simon, it's time for this.
In the Zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Get epic value or tournament with William Hill. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Yeah, we're going to look at the latest odds ahead of today's matches with William Hill. Just out of interest, I'm just looking. Yeah, Switzerland are one up. They're one up on Cameroon. 52 minutes in. That'll put a smile on the face of the man I was chatting to at breakfast this morning, Granit Xhaka. Anyway, I wonder if this man's smiling. I don't think the weather back in the UK is making him smile. William Hill ambassador Lee Phelps. Lee, how are you?
Yeah, excellent, thank you. Still cold, so let's leave it at that, shall we?
Still cold. Listen, okay, mate, I won't bore you with the fact it's 28 degrees here, but, I mean, honestly, we are working like you wouldn't believe it, Lee.
You're breaking up a little bit, sorry, you're breaking up, I can't hear you.
Working on our tans, Lee.
Working on our tans. So, Lee, what can you offer me then? Outright winner. Has it changed somewhat after we saw what happened with Germany, after we saw what happened with Argentina? Where were we at with that?
Yeah, well, Brazil's still right out there, 3-1 favourites to win the World Cup. But yeah, behind them, the pack is moving all the time. England now second favourites, joint second favourites with Spain after what we saw from them, that demolition job. 13-2, Spain and England. France also now into 13-2. So 3 co-second favourites at the moment. Argentina pushed out to 8-1. The Dutch 12-1. Portugal 14-1, Belgium 18-1, haven't got to Germany yet, 22-1 after yesterday, and then you've got 33s and bigger the rest, starting with Uruguay. So it's moving every day, everything's moving around behind Brazil, and we'll find out later on in TalkSport, won't we, how Brazil get on in their opening.
Yeah, absolutely, Lee. What about the Golden Boot?
Yeah, again, it's Kylian Mbappe there at the top of the market still, 6-1. Olivier Giroud, the big move, 9-1. Neymar 10s, Lionel Messi 11-1, and the player who really attracted a lot of money yesterday after that Spain victory was Ferran Torres, getting 2 goals there. 14-1 he's into now. Bukayo Saka is 16s, same price as Cristiano Ronaldo and Harry Kane. Again, so many great players in that list I've just listed there, but it changes daily. These markets are just changing so much, and I'm asking the traders at William Hill constantly, what are the latest moves? What they said today was that England are now the worst result in the book. It was Argentina pre-tournament. Now England are the worst result in the book for the traders, which means they'd like them to get to the final. and lose. You know what these traders are like. It's terrible, aren't they? Terrible.
These damn traders. And regards today, can you offer me a goal scorer treble? Darwin Núñez, Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar all to score today. What can you give me?
Yeah, well, that was 11-1, now 16-1. We've been close to landing a couple of these. Obviously, only Harry Kane let that opening one that we put up on that first day when England played. But Núñez, obviously, fantastic striker. We see him closely. Cristiano Ronaldo in the news, of course. He's the hot favourite to be the top scorer for Portugal and is in that list of Golden Boot. And Neymar, as you just said there, right up there in the Golden Boot betting. So all three of those to score at any time in their games, 16-1.
Terrific stuff. Lee Phelps, thank you so much. Lee Phelps, William Hill ambassador, and that was us looking at the latest odds thanks to William Hill. Get epic odds with William Hill. Terms, conditions apply. You got to be 18 and over. BeGambleAware.org.
In the Zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Get epic value or tournament with William Hill. 18 plus, BeGambleAware.org.
A warm-up on TalkSport with EE. You can't always count on a great result for your team, but you can count on EE full fibre broadband to give you the speeds you pay for, even at peak times. Powered by BT. Limited availability. Check coverage at ee.co.uk.
All right, listen up. Big day, yeah? England, the World Cup. Yes, it's Christmas. Yes, there's bits and bobs to do, but Christmas is once a year, right? The World Cup every 4 years. So let's get out there, get a good seat, show them what we're made of. That all right with you, Nan? It's coming home! The World Cup and Christmas together. Celebrate with a free bet builder on England v the USA. Paddy Power, where were you in 22? Pre-match online bets only. Min 4 plus legs. Must have previously deposited. Free bet varies from £1 to £25 per customer. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Kick off the celebrations with 2 Co-op stone-baked pizzas and 4 Budweisers for just £6 at your local Co-op. Get your home team together. Co-op. It's what we do. Ends December 13th. See shelf edging for included products. Excludes Northern Ireland. Selected stores subject to availability. Please drink responsibly.
You love what you do. Every job and every customer matters. And your reviews? Oh, glowing. We've got a lot in common. We're Trust a Trader, the website that millions of people use to find reputable tradespeople like you. If you're as passionate as we are about doing things right, find out if you've got what it takes to join the Trust a Trader family and really grow your business. Apply now at trustatrader.com. You can always trust a trader.
Trustatrader.com. Yeti was having a bad fur day. Again. Poor love. So when he heard there was up to 40% off in the Amazon Black Friday week, he treated himself to a volumizing hairdryer. So he could be furry and fabulous. Looking fly, hairy guy. Get up to 40% off in the Amazon Black Friday week. Ends 28th of November.
When people ask me about greener ways to heat their homes, I always recommend Samsung heat pumps. Instead of gas, they use electricity, plus the energy in the air outside to heat your home and water. So not only are Samsung heat pumps low carbon, they're energy efficient too. You can even control your heating with your smartphone, and it's all backed by a 7-year warranty.
Search Samsung heat pumps today for a greener way to heat your home.
It's almost here. Only one day until an England game packed with whoa!
That's got to be 30 yards!
Absolute screamer.
At number 9, he's proper class.
Shots on target, goals, cards. Discover more with a £1 free build-a-bet for the England game. Sky Bet. That's betting better. 18 plus, BeGambleAware.org. Opt-in required. Free bet not withdrawable and stakes not returned. No free bet expiring. Eligibility and T&Cs apply.
Traffic and travel on Talk Sport, presented by EE Full Fibre Broadband, powered by BT.
Edinburgh, the A71 Calder Road remains closed towards the Edinburgh bypass. Between the A1M and York, the A59 is shut in Kirkhamerton where there's been an accident. The A55 towards Chester closed at junction 40, the Vickers Cross interchange, tailbacks to the M53 and M56 Stoke interchange, a windy M48 Severn Bridge where there are restrictions, and the M6 Warwickshire northbound, a breakdown before 3 at Coventry and Sarah Elliott.
So he's weaving his way round. This is the moment. They've been waiting all year for this. He approaches!
A little webbing on all the
the big games. With tasty snacks and drinks like our party time selection from $1.49, Budweiser chili and lime chicken wings for $3.99, and craft beers per can from 99p. Now that's big on quality and always little on price. Subject to availability, selected stores, excludes a night.
The FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 on TalkSport.
By the way, you can hear coming this Friday night, USA, England, with full coverage on TalkSport. England versus the USA. Tomorrow night from 6 GMT time on TalkSport. You betcha.
Shaqiri gets it across the face of goal. Embolo for Switzerland. Embolo, the goal scorer, 2.5 minutes into the second half. And we did say it, the Swiss dominated in the opening 45 minutes by Cameroon. But Embolo with a finish.
Subscribe, please.
Yep, that's how you heard that goal scored on TalkSport 2. It's Switzerland against Cameroon. Switzerland 1-up. Ironically, the goal scorer, Breel Embolo, who didn't celebrate. Why was that? Because he was born in Cameroon. He was born in Yaoundé, Cameroon, but then finally settled in Switzerland and plays for them. So strangely, the boy who was born in Cameroon has put Switzerland 1-up on Cameroon, and they're in the driving seat in that match. Half an hour to go, I should say, 61 minutes played, and Switzerland are a goal to the good against Cameroon. So that is happening right now, but of course, what is going on with England? We're going to head live now to the England camp. Simon with me here in Doha, but we're going up the road from here to the England camp to Wakra, to be precise, and Faye Carruthers, who is watching England and watching them out and about. And Faye, hi to you. I think you can confirm to us that Harry Kane is involved and is fit to play against the USA.
He absolutely is. He's leading at the moment. The players jogging out here at Al Wakra Sports Complex came out laughing and joking with the players and is absolutely fine. The scan has come up with nothing significant and he is cleared to play against the USA on Friday, which is fantastic news if you're an England fan.
Yeah, indeed. What's the situation with Maddison?
Maddison's not out again, Jim, I'm afraid. And that has raised questions over whether or not potentially he should have been taken out of the 26 and replaced before that first game with Iran. Because when I sat down and spoke to Gareth Southgate the day before that match, when they still had the opportunity up until midnight to replace him if needed, you know, that he still didn't know whether or not he was going to be able to feature in any training session. We've been out here now for 10 days and he hasn't featured in any outside training session yet. So that's a big worry. Equally, if you look at it from the other point of view, Gareth Southgate has always said he's happier to have a smaller squad, so maybe it would have caused more of an upset potentially replacing James Maddison, but then you just don't know what's going to happen later on in the tournament and whether you're going to need the rest of that squad depth, particularly because there's the opportunity to have 5 substitutes, and obviously the longer that we don't see James Maddison out here, the worse that's going to be.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Simon, all the hoo-ha that was made about Maddison, and now we might not see him.
Well, that's just circumstances as they are. I was going to ask you, Faye, Harry Maguire, I mean, whilst I'm not his greatest admirer, I also think that there was a decent performance from him against Iran. There was some pushback on England defensively. What's the state of play with him?
He's standing there laughing and joking. He just walked past me, actually, with Kieran Trippier about 5 minutes ago. He's absolutely fine. He was ill. So there were some concerns over whether or not, it was a concussion. It wasn't. He just wasn't feeling very well, which is why he came down. We've still not had any kind of official explanation either from Gareth or from the player or from the FA about exactly what kind of illness it was, but he's absolutely fine. He's out here training in his vest and looking happy and comfortable, which is great news because I know you're not a huge fan of his, Simon, but I thought he was excellent against Iran. He almost won England a penalty early on. He hit the crossbar. He nodded down for one of the goals as well. I thought he had a really great game, which he tends to do when he plays for England, as we've said before, and I think he's an integral part of this England squad. And I've got an interview coming up with John Stones later on this afternoon, which you'll hear on the build-up to our 1 p.m. kickoff. And John Stones previously, when he was sitting down with Adrian Durham, has talked about the importance of Harry Maguire and his partnership in the centre of defence with him. And he is a really key part of England's squad and plays well whenever he puts on an England shirt.
Be interesting, Faye, when you speak to Stones, he'll be happy, no doubt, that domestically Pep has committed longer term to Manchester City. I don't know if you'll be able to get onto that topic. For Maguire, it's a milestone. Should he start 50 caps, Faye?
Yeah, a big milestone. We've had a couple of them actually, and they've kind of flown under the radar a little bit. I spoke to Raheem Sterling yesterday, who got his 80th cap for England and underplayed it massively when I asked him. And earlier on spoke to John Stones before that commitment. So I didn't get a chance to talk to John about that actually, because he's a very deep thinker, John Stones, and we talked about a variety of other different things leading into this USA game. He had his 60th cap for his country, which is a massive achievement, and also just kind of shows the experience that this England side now have with the injection of youth that comes in with it as well, that there are players here that have had tournament experience and big tournament experience going deep into the tournament, and that's really important going forward, please. Because you'll hear in my interview later, I can't tell you too much about it, unfortunately, because it's under embargo, but the way John speaks about what he's learnt from different tournaments he's been in up to now and how that helps him out here in Qatar is really fascinating.
Come on, Faye, break the embargo. Tell us what you said.
I'm not going to do that, Jim. You know me, consummate professional.
Absolutely. Faye Corellis, as always, thank you very much indeed, Faye, with the England squad. And just to recap there, Kane is out. It's been confirmed that, if needed, and of course he's needed, he is fit to play. But James Maddison, maybe more significantly, not out. What kind of tournament does that mean it's going to be for James Maddison? Now, of course, England not in action today. In action later today after Switzerland, Cameroon, and the Swiss still one up in that game. Uruguay, South Korea, Portugal, Ghana, and Brazil, Serbia. We heard from Kaká, exclusively heard from him on TalkSport earlier this morning on Brazil, Neymar, and the rest. But what about England's next opponents, the USA? We've got to redress the balance a bit in the build-up to this. So when we come back, we will be in the company of former USA winger, and what a player he was for the USA. Capped over 100 times for his nation. DeMarcus Beasley will be with Simon and myself live right here in Doha.
The warm-up on TalkSport with EE. You can't always count on VAR getting it right, but you can count on EE broadband with smart Wi-Fi that reaches all around your home. Powered by BT. Limited availability. Check coverage at ee.co.uk.
You win some, you lose some. That's why at Mr. Q, the online casino, they've got hundreds of games where it's not all about winning, but playing for the fun of it. So, for a bit of no-nonsense fun and 20 free spins on Fishing Frenzy the Big Catch with your first deposit, get yourself over to MrQ.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. £10 deposit required. All winnings uncapped and credited to your balance. Full T's and C's apply.
You're stuck indoors waiting for a delivery.
But you should be at the match with your mates.
With a Ring Video Doorbell, you can do both. See and speak to whoever's at your door from wherever you are, right from your phone.
Delivery.
Oh, hey, can you leave it with my neighbour at 36, please?
Sure, no problem.
Get in! With Ring, you're always home. The Ring Black Friday sale is now on, with great savings on selected devices. Go to ring.com and major retailers today.
Getting a car is all about choices. At Lookers, you choose from over 30 manufacturers and over 6,000 vehicles online. Choose to buy completely online or completely in person, or even a mixture of both. It's up to you. Choose to collect in store or have it delivered to your door. Whatever you want, however you want it, you choose. Lookers, a good deal, better. Visit lookers.co.uk.
Malware and trackers are on the attack, but NordVPN comes into play. Spectacular save! NordVPN and TalkSport have an exclusive Black Friday offer just for you. Secure your online privacy with a 1 or 2 year NordVPN plan and get 4 months for free. Don't miss this chance and visit nordvpn.com/TalkSport.
Voila, the bill.
This one's on me. No, please. Come on, I'm serious. How about I pay for the starters?
Hey, chill. It's Black Friday, and BT are gonna split the bill.
Get 6 months of half-price BT Superfast Fibre, all for just $14.49 a month. Hurry, offer ends 8th of December. Currently $28.99 for month 7, 24-month contract, broadband only, new customers CPI plus 3.9% increase each March, terms apply.
It's almost here. Only one day until an England game packed with...
Whoa! That's got to be 30 yards!
Absolute screamer.
That number 9, he's proper class.
Shops on target, goals, cards. Discover more with a £1 free Build-A-Bet for the England game. Sky Bet. That's betting better. 18 plus, begambleaware.org. Opt-in required. Free bet not withdrawable and stakes not returned. No free bet expiring. Eligibility and T&Cs apply.
TalkSport Sports Update.
With the TalkSport headlines at 11:30, I'm Nick Ellaby. Good morning. Harry Kane is fit to face the USA. That's after a scan on his injured foot. Meanwhile, ahead of the Wales game with Iran, a World Cup party for Wales fans has been cancelled after Qatari authorities imposed changes restricting alcohol sales before midday. Both those games are live on TalkSport tomorrow. Switzerland are currently leading Cameroon 1-0 after 71 minutes. Breland Bolo refused to celebrate the goal against the country where he was born. That game's live over on TalkSport 2 now. And Eddie Jones has dropped both his vice-captains as England prepare to face South Africa in the Autumn Nations Rugby Union this Saturday. Ellis Genge and Jack Nowell drop to the bench. Maku Vunipola comes in as prop. 21-year-old Tommy Freeman starts on the right wing. England versus South Africa is live on TalkSport 2 on Saturday afternoon.
TalkSport Qatar heroes. Country, Portugal. Name, Cristiano Ronaldo.
With more Ballon d'Or nominations than any other player in history, you might think he has no more records left to chase. But you'd be wrong. If he hits the back of the net for Portugal in Qatar, the 37-year-old will become the first player to score in 5 different World Cup finals. Not even the legendary Pelé or the mighty Messi can say that.
TalkSport Qatar heroes.
Our challenge is to give our supporters a tournament that's memorable. We've taken them on fantastic journeys in our last 2 tournaments.
Things of dreams, it's not things that happen to every kid.
We was clinical in the chances that we had. We played some nice football.
I wouldn't change the personnel and I wouldn't change the formation.
We did our job and we came away with a result. I imagine back in England people are now building up the narrative. We're up and onward.
I wouldn't quite say it's coming home, but the sat-nav's been set. The football England played was magnificent.
I really enjoyed England's performance. I thought they were excellent. Substitutes come on, Rashford scores with his first touch, Grealish scores at the end.
We're going to have to reset. I don't like games that drift as this one did, and that won't be enough for us to progress in the tournament.
Slipped in towards Weah, who scores. Weah with the opening goal for the United States.
We talk about our goals of what we want to do at the World Cup. I'm confident that this group is ready to play.
Yeah. 10 o'clock tomorrow night over here in Doha, Qatar is the late kick-off. England against the USA. I think I heard McCoy's voice in there talking very favourably about England. But England, of course, expected to do very well in their second group game, this time against the USA. But what Simon of the USA, Simon Jordan and myself here, you're listening to the warm-up show on TalkSport in partnership with EE. EE Full Fibre Broadband gives you the speed you pay for, even at peak time. Simon is with me here in Doha, Qatar. So much for England. We know Kane has been confirmed. We think that Maddison will not be featuring because he hasn't trained today, as Faker others reported to us just a short time ago. What chance the Americans? What chance do they give themselves? I'm delighted to say here in studio on the outskirts of Doha, we are joined by a man who was capped over 100 times for the US national team. He is DeMarcus Beasley. Mr. Beasley, you're welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you boys again.
Good
nice to see you.
Happy Thanksgiving Day.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Just got back from eating a big turkey, by the way, so I'm full.
Excellent. Are you homesick?
Not yet. I've only been here for a day. So I got in yesterday, so I'm good. I'm good right now.
You were over, Simon, you lived in the USA. This man tells me he's lived everywhere. There's not a country or a city he hasn't lived in.
None of them wanted me to stay there, did they?
But did you get to experience Thanksgiving?
I always felt more comfortable with Thanksgiving because obviously the origin of that is a harvest festival in the 1600s that English pilgrims were at. I always felt a little bit like out of place on Independence Day. Didn't feel comfortable there.
Anyway.
Fair enough.
You know what Thanksgiving Day is all about. What about the USA? We disappointed they didn't hold out the other night and beat the Welsh.
100%. As you saw, they dominated Wales in the first half. The way they moved and how they played, I think they really came out with a lot of energy, and it just wilted in the second half. It was a game. It was a game of two halves.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
What'd you put that down to?
You can put it down to a little bit of inexperience. I think the mentality of the team was, we got to jump out on Wales. We got to really show the world that we can play football. We're not just looking for 2026. We want to show the world that we can play football now. And I think that got a little bit to them. The passes weren't right in transition. They weren't good in the second half when they had some chances to.
Because it looked like, when the game was afoot and it came on top and the Welsh went through it, that, like you said, the Americans wilted. And I was surprised, given the first half performance, that they were that way in the second half. I mean, what does that tell you about the US team? I know you're going to be careful in what you're saying.
Yeah. No. It says that for one, we have a ways to go, but it was a good start. I'm as a fan, I was proud of the team.
Did you expect? I mean, everyone was forecasting a draw before this game. That was the.
I thought they were going to win. I thought they were going to win. Yes. I thought they were going to win. Even before the first half, I thought they were going to win. I thought the first half went exactly how I thought the game would look like, and then the second half was completely different, as we saw.
I mean, DeMarcus, you've been after this thing for a while. You played at four World Cups. You played at four World Cups.
Never got close, Simon. Never got close.
Don't worry about that, mate. But the fact of the matter is, USA are here. How does this team compare to the ones that you played in?
I think one, we could just say just the age. I mean, they're all under 23 except for Tim Ream, at Fulham. They're young, they're energetic, they're close-knit group. I think that's the same as the American kind of atmosphere. We always have a good camp, a good team, a good cohesiveness throughout the group. But this team has their youthfulness and their talent is I think a different level than we are. But at the same time, with saying that, they have to prove themselves. In 2002, obviously we got to the quarterfinals. We got out of our group in 2 out of the 4 World Cups that I played in. So it's still a work in progress. So they still have things to prove, still have things to do, but it's looking good for U.S. at the moment.
So how are they feeling, do you think, going into this? I know we're second-guessing what the mood of the camp is at this moment, but they all look like a lively, confident bunch to me.
Yeah.
They're upbeat.
Yeah.
They didn't lose the first game. That was important.
Yeah.
How are they feeling about England?
I mean, how are they feeling about England? I think they're confident because the familiarity with the players they're going to play against. But to say they're not disappointed and to say that they were a bit gutted that they got scored on in the past the 80th minute is the truth. Is the honest truth. And as players, that feels like a loss when you get up to a game and you're up 1-0 and you lose, and it feels like a loss. It's not a draw. But
it was coming, wasn't it?
It was coming.
But DeMarcus, what I'm driving at is they don't feel going into this that they are the inferior opponent.
No, they don't. They feel that they can beat anyone on any given day.
See, I love that. You love that, don't you?
And if they do have a day, they can beat England.
Yeah, I mean,
will they is a different.
I think if you look at the American side, I think if England turn up, they'll batter them.
Yeah.
But that's my point of view. I think if you look at the first half, they may well compete for England for periods of the game, but I think England are an infinitely superior side, and it's about how England play. And I know that will be me, and people will say that's me being arrogant about the English team, and we've turned up many times before and flattered to the sea.
No, but I think it's fair to say that if you look at the English squad compared to the U.S. squad on paper, yes, they are more talented than we are. 100%.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair enough. In a moment, we'll hear from the goalkeeper, Matt Turner. Before that, you happy with Pulisic?
I'm happy with the effort that he put in. Obviously, look, star players have to come up in big moments in big games, and he did that. Yeah. He did that. He got the assist to the goal. Mm-hmm. What do we love to see? Christian driving with the ball. We don't see that much in Chelsea because he's playing right wing back most of the time. So getting the ball in those spots where I'm not saying anything about Chelsea.
But I'm just saying you're right though.
He's playing a different position, but now he's in a spot where he can be dangerous, and for us, it's a big bonus. You know, so him to make that pass to Timothy Weah was huge for us.
You gave a dismissive look when we spoke about Pulisic.
Yeah, well, I mean, I watched him. I thought he was about to arrive after the FA Cup final when he was so pertinent in the first half. I don't know whether it's confidence versus competency, but there's an element of he hasn't done it in the Premier League, and he looks to me, and this might be a very top-down analysis, he looks lightweight. He's got all the technical ability, but when it comes to it, there's something just missing at the top level, hence the reasons why he's not dominating the space at Chelsea.
When you say lightweight, what do you mean by lightweight?
I think he flits and flats out of games. I don't think he's impactful, and I think physically he's lightweight.
Physically lightweight. I think he's a fighter.
Fair?
It's fair. It's his
opinion.
It's his opinion.
Yeah.
But I think he's a fighter. You see in the game, he got basically beat up against Wales, but he'll keep going and going and go. Maybe you see that he doesn't play that way with Chelsea because you see that more obviously week in and week out.
Yeah.
But when he plays in the USA team, you see he gets battered, but he gets up and
But it's also, from what there's not enough end product. Okay, in this game, he pays the assist.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yes. When you're playing at Chelsea, when you're playing one of the three top positions, you have to produce.
End product, yeah.
You have to have end product.
You rightly said, DeMarcus, it felt disappointing, anticlimactic, if you like, that in the home straight against the Welsh, the USA conceded, so they end up a point apiece when it could and should maybe have been a win. And that was echoed by the USA goalkeeper, Matt Turner. Have a listen to this.
I think one of the main things for us is we missed some opportunities in transition against Wales in the second half. We had chances where we just weren't particularly clean in the final third. Maybe a pass was a little off or the timing was wrong. And it took away the small windows that you have in a World Cup where the margins are so thin to score a goal. So I think we know that we're going to have to be better in transition against England if we want to score goals. And yeah, I think we've learned a lot.
And that's the main thing, DeMarcus. We've learned a lot. I mean, when you look at it, the USA have the second youngest squad in Qatar. I think the Ghanaians are the youngest. Mm-hmm. So, they're inexperienced, but they're in no way overawed by this place.
No, not at all. And I think that speaks well of the confidence in this group and the players that they have in the group. I mean, you look at our captain. He's 23 years old, the youngest captain in the World Cup. He came from one of the academies in MLS. He's huge, and he was the man of the match by far. I don't know if you guys watched the match.
Yeah, of course.
Tyler Adams from Leeds was phenomenal.
Yes,
phenomenal. And he was Weston McKennie's looks like he has a little bit of a knock, so he's not 100%. Musa, he was okay. I thought he could be better, but you look at Tyler in the midfield. He's going to be so important against England.
Listen, you're so vastly experienced. Tell me this, and I know you'll have to give the game away to a certain degree. How did the USA get at England?
I think they're in transition. They have to. The things that Matt Turner talked about, they have to get that part right. They have to get that part right because they're not gonna. They're not gonna out-possess England, especially if England play 4 in the back. 5 maybe, but they play 4 in the back and they play how they. USA cannot give them too much respect.
And subscribe.
They have to go out and step on their toes from the first minute, just like they did against Wales.
And I can see them doing that.
They can. They have to.
Yeah, and absolutely right. They should, because ultimately, it's not an American trait not to be confident, is it? They go into these tournaments and whatever sport they do with a degree of confidence, there has to be reality attached to it, and they're going to accept the fact that England are going to have more of the ball.
Yeah.
But like we say, the moments where you can hurt England are in transition. And, we can be gotten at. We look at times vulnerable, and the Iranians scored 2 goals. There's no reason why the Americans won't do some damage. But I do think if England got their heads on and they're in and control the game the way that I think they will, and the Bellinghams of our team get on the ball the way that they did against the Iranians, I think they will do damage to America. And it's about how they recover. It's about how the Americans recover to any adversity in the same way. I wouldn't be surprised if the Americans score first. I wouldn't be surprised if the game plays that way.
Yeah.
But I do think if England are focused and motivated, which of course they will be, that it's their game to control, it's their game to win, and it's their game to make the Americans almost passengers.
So, DeMarcus, at home, and I don't mean Fort Wayne, Indiana, where you're from, I mean on a wider basis than that, what's the mood?
The mood's good. I think the mood is a positive one. We know that we're playing England. We know we're playing one of the best teams in the tournament. But I think that for the most part, everyone is, for one, concentrate on Thanksgiving. That's a big event, and that's going to kind of help the momentum for the national team. Going into this game tomorrow. But I think that they're ultra positive, to be honest.
Okay. You'll tell us, of course, Simon, that you have lived in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
I have not, actually.
Have you?
I have not.
Have you ever been to Indiana?
I have been to Indiana,
okay.
Yes.
Where were you in Indiana?
I'll take that.
I can't remember the region, but I'll find out the town I was in and tell you.
This man has lived everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
I didn't live in Indiana.
I just can't remember where that was.
I'll take that.
Thank you. Fort Wayne, Indiana, the home of DeMarcus Beasley, birthplace of DeMarcus. When we come back, we'll get into some of the more serious aspects off the pitch, like player protests, and I know DeMarcus will have his views on that. Delighted you're with us here in Doha, Qatar. DeMarcus Beasley is with us live on Talk Sport.
For warm-up on TalkSport with EE. You can't always count on the gaffer to pick the right side, but you can count on EE full fibre broadband to give you the speeds you pay for, even at peak times. Powered by BT. Limited availability. Check coverage at ee.co.uk.
Did you know over 500,000 Sky Bet customers use deposit limits to help manage their betting budget, enough to fill 5 whole cops? 3 Vicarage Roads. And still have enough left over to fill 2 cup finals. And 1 home of football. All good bookmakers have deposit limits, so whoever you bet with, set an appropriate one and enjoy the sport. Deposit limits. That's betting better. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Pepsi Max. Can you feel that fizz? I can. Tastes like Christmas in my can. Sweet but no sugar inside. Are you mad? I can never compromise for the max. This year Santa's sleigh's full throttle. He's got flavours and fizz in a bottle. We all know that it's time to get festive. Had to put maximum taste in my beverage. Pepsi Max. Maximum taste, no sugar.
This season,
Delivery.
Prime Video is delivering the entire 2022 Rugby Autumn Nation Series to your door. This Saturday, watch Wales versus Australia, kicking off at 3:15, and England versus South Africa, kicking off at 5:30. Exclusively on Prime Video this year.
Malware and trackers are on the attack, but NordVPN comes into play. Spectacular save! NordVPN and TalkSport have an exclusive Black Friday offer just for you. Secure your online privacy with a 1 or 2 year NordVPN plan and get 4 months for free. Don't miss this chance and visit nordvpn.com/TalkSport.
I'm an accountant, but I work with a lot of builders, tax returns, financial advice, that sort of thing. So if you're a builder, open a Travis Perkins trade account and download the app. You get your own personalised discounts, you can check stock on the go at any branch, and have all your Travis Perkins invoices in one place to keep an eye on costs. Important at this time, though if you're an accountant, important at any time. Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. Open a trade account and download the app at travisperkins.co.uk.
Voila, the bill.
This one's on me. No, please. Come on, I'm serious. How about I pay for the starters?
Hey, chill. It's Black Friday, and BT are gonna split the bill. Get 6 months of half-price BT Superfast Fibre, all for just $14.49 a month. Hurry, offer ends 8th of December. Currently $28.99 for month 7, 24-month contract, broadband only, new customers, CPI plus 3.9% increase each March, terms apply.
5 subs, 5 step-overs, 5 penalties to win the thing. And now, 5 bets in a bundle. Whatever the World Cup action, with new football bet bundles from Coral, you can get a bundle of 5 bets for double the value or more. Choose a £2 Classic or £5 Premium. Football bet bundles, only from Coral. 18 plus UK only, ends 1st of October 23. Real money purchase of £2 or £5, get a football bet bundle. 5 times £1 or 5 times £2. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Take time to think.
Traffic and travel on Talk Sport, presented by EE Full Fibre Broadband, powered by BT.
The M48 Severn Bridge is closed each way between England and Wales because of strong winds. Diversions are the M4 over the Prince of Wales Bridge. In Powys, the A470 is closed each way between Filth Wells and Irwood because of flooding. On the M25 west of London, the inside lanes close clockwise at junction 14 at Heathrow after an accident. Queues from junction 13 at Staines. And in County Down, the A50 is blocked by a fallen tree at the Portadown turn-off north of Guildford, causing queues. That's the latest. I'm Russell Holding.
So he's weaving his way round. This is the moment. They've been waiting all year for this. He approaches!
At Lidl, we're big on all the
big games. With tasty snacks and drinks like our party time selection from $1.49, Budweiser chili and lime chicken wings for $3.99, and craft beers per can from 99p. Now that's big on quality and always little on price. Subject to availability, selected stores, excludes a night.
World Cup Game Day Warm-Up with Jim White and Simon Jordan on Talk Sport.
The player to watch on Talk Sport with EE. Count on EE full fibre broadband to give you the speeds you pay for, even at peak times. Powered by BT. Limited availability. Check coverage at ee.co.uk.
Now then, here in Qatar, Simon and I are joined in studio in the outskirts of Doha by DeMarcus Beasley, a man who has played many times for the USA, well over 100 times. DeMarcus in town, of course, as his beloved USA. The day after Thanksgiving Day. This is Thanksgiving Day, of course, today, but tomorrow they go in against England. And, of course, DeMarcus, like many of us, looking forward to this one hugely. DeMarcus, give us a player to watch. What do you think? Let's take a look at a player to watch with EE. Who are you going to give me?
I'm going to give you Gio Reyna. I think he didn't play. He didn't come on in the first game against Wales, but what a player. He is the son of Claudio Reyna that played for Manchester City. I'm sure you guys know.
And Sunderland,
yeah. Exactly. And Sunderland
and Rangers,
as well. And Rangers as well. What a player he is. The thing that I love about him most is his intelligence on the field. And he's a guy that he doesn't shy away from the big moments. You know, when you talk about he'll kick somebody and then look over him and kind of give him he's tough. He's a tough kid. And but with that, he has bags of talent, bags of skill, and I think that I think he'll start tomorrow.
Okay, Giovanni Reyna, of course, Claudio Reyna's son. We spoke to Claudio before we left the UK to come out here. DeMarcus, thanks for that. That was a player to watch with EE. EE full fibre broadband gives you the speeds that you pay for, even at peak times, powered by BT.
The player to watch on Talk Sport with EE. Count on EE full fibre broadband to give you the speeds you pay for, even at peak times. Powered by BT. Limited availability. Check coverage at ee.co.uk.
DeMarcus Beasley with Simon and myself here in the studio in Doha. DeMarcus, want to run through one or two issues with you before we leave everybody today on Talk Sport. Where do you stand in player protests in this tournament? It seems there have been one after the other, and the emphasis to me has shifted from Qatar as the host nation to FIFA. What's your take on it? The Germans covering their mouths yesterday before kickoff. They went on to lose, but that's another matter. What's your take on it?
I think it's important. I think it's important that players step up and be an advocate for what they believe in. They're on the biggest platform. Right now, the World Cup is the biggest platform that we can be on, especially in our sport, in football. So if they have a chance to really get behind something that they feel passionate about, I'm all for it.
I mean, the Americans have replaced national crests at the training complex to rainbow-coloured ones. Is this important to you that they do that? And they seem to do it.
Yeah, it's important. Every team, every person, every country has their beliefs and what they want to get behind. And just with America, with the Be the Change, that's what it's called. Their platform. And for them, it's important that they show the world and tell the world who we are. What we are. It's not just about football. It's about who we are as a country, as a team, and what they're an advocate for. And I think that's important.
Even at that, you would still say, Simon, no, it's a World Cup. Stick to football.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that, the issues that are in hand are the issues of a country that's evolving. If we look at the Americans and their legacies and the things that they've done in society over the years, they're far from perfect. And you look at the issues that that have happened in America with the racism and redlining in your country that still existed in the 1970s. So to come to another country that's going on a journey and feel the need to impart wisdom, I'm troubled by. I would rather the players play football, or if they want to impart their wisdom and they want to impart their messages and they believe strongly in it, then they will be prepared to take the consequences.
But maybe DeMarcus would agree with me. Do both. Do both.
Yeah, you can do both. But is it because of the World Cup, or Is it because you don't want them to protest at all in the football match?
I don't think they should be protesting in football matches. I think football should be for football. I think there should be a neutrality about sports. I think sports should be taken away from political motivations and agendas being served out by activists. I think countries like this are on journeys. I don't approve of certain aspects of this country. I don't approve of this World Cup being awarded to this country under the manner that it was. But we are here now, and this country's on a journey like all our countries are. And countries will evolve at natural speeds. And I do feel that the players are dialing it in, because if they weren't dialing it in, they'd take the consequences of making the decisions that they want to make, and they say they want to make, and they vowed they were going to make, but they don't want to. They want to be able to dial it in.
What would you say to that? Simon Strident on it, what would you say?
I mean, like you said, he's entitled to his opinion.
It's a view.
But it's a view, but I mean, I don't agree. I think that for someone that wants to, a team that wants to protest, it shouldn't matter where they are and what platform they're on. If it's the World Cup, if it's the presidential debate,
they should never be deplatformed. But the bottom line is there's also a consequence to freedom of speech. And if that consequence is that FIFA have determined, in conjunction with the country that you're playing a World Cup in, that there is no desire for that to have happened, and the consequence is yellow cards for captains, why wouldn't players be prepared to take it? Oh, I know, because they have no skin in the game. They want to post it in. They want to dial it in.
As a World Cup, Ronaldo has skin in the game because he wants Portugal to go as far as he possibly can. Portugal take on Ghana tonight, live in Talk Sport. In fact, 4 o'clock kickoff for that one. After everything that's happened with Ronaldo, DeMarcus, and that interview with Piers Morgan, what kind of World Cup do you think he's going to have?
I mean, Portugal in the whole. You look at the mentality of the team. Yeah. You don't know what I get. Well, I can't say guarantee, but I think if Portugal don't make it out of the group, I guarantee there'll be someone that says
it's his fault.
It was his fault. It was the circus, the concentration of the team wasn't right. They're not going to say it now. But it'll come out if they don't get out of their group.
You're an MLS ambassador. Do you want to see Ronaldo over there next?
100%. Bring all the drama. Bring all the drama. Why not? He's one of the biggest stars in football.
You get some of these MLS franchise owners who could afford him?
No, I don't think so. Not right now. What he's on right now, I don't think they could afford him. I don't think so.
But you'd say yes.
But I'd say yes. However MLS, however we as a league can bring Ronaldo or Messi to the league, why not?
Yeah. DeMarcus back in Glasgow, a city you know well. The party company, Rangers, the club you used to play for, with Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. And now it appears, Simon and I were speaking about this about 2 hours ago when we began this show today, it appears that Rangers